yo, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Jeff's Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run from Jeff's Bagel Run.
Welcome to the weekly run. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Aaron.
What's hot at the Bagel Run, Aaron?
So much. We were just saying before we started the recording that I don't know why it feels like a Friday on barely a Wednesday. It's been a long week somehow already.
The week has already gotten away from me. I think part of it is because we had a little fun earlier this week. I think we did have some fun. You and I got the opportunity to go to the University of Central Florida and speak to students at the College of Business in a program that they call the Exchange. This is a 4-credit, like they get a grade for this, which is crazy.
Which is the coolest part.
It is kind of the coolest part of it for the students.
For sure. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe talking to us is a cool part too, but they essentially get to come and listen to professionals across multiple disciplines in the business industry, or that would fall under categories of like the business major, accounting, marketing, integrated business, entrepreneurship, whatever those categories are, or whatever your major might be. And you sit for an hour and you chat. They ask questions. We did a fireside chat via the podcast, and I think our listeners are going to enjoy it when we air it over the next couple of weeks.
We got great questions. The students were great with questions. I was super impressed just with the quality.
They're very thoughtful. There's a ton of insight behind the questions they were asking. I felt as though they truly wanted to learn from the experiences we were having. And that, I don't know, maybe I'm just an old guy and it's unusual, but maybe it's just the norm now. I don't know. It felt good.
I laugh at that because that was actually almost my identical sort of thought. Was like, wow, these guys, I don't want to be cynical about it, but like they're really sort of engaged. How did I get them? I guess maybe I expect a different level of engagement, just because that's hard, right? I mean, it's a student, you're busy, to come in and take time out and to lock in and try and take something from an event like this. So to see so many students and all engaged and asking great questions, I left very impressed with the student body, UCF, the program. Like I was like, all right, this is a great program.
Yeah, it was really cool.
You're a perennial favorite at this place. This is what, time number 3, 4?
I think this was the 4th time I've been to the Exchange.
That's crazy.
I've gotten a chance to talk to students over the last few years. And it's neat because each time you go, it's a different set of students, right? They're enrolled in this for just a semester, so they're new every time. And the questions, I'll admit, can be similar because it's a new group of people. They're all kind of catching up. The growth and knowledge of the brand over the 4 sessions has gotten deeper. In the first session, it was Danielle and I, and we actually originally were invited by Justin, who's a graduate of the College of Business. I went to the University of Central Florida. I graduated from the University of Central Florida, but I didn't graduate from the College of Business. I graduated from the College of Arts and Sciences with a degree in psychology. So I'm not a College of Business alumni. Justin, being a College of Business alumni, has had a ton of interaction with the Exchange and with the college there. It was like invited by him the first time. Nobody really knew Jeff's Bagel Run. They knew Justin, and they knew sort of the businesses he had built previously and what he was doing with like post You Break I Fix, but they didn't really know Jeff's Bagel Run. This next time we went, we'd had our store open in Oviedo. It was, a group
which
of students,
is their hometown store,
which is right next to UCF. They visited. A lot of the students had visited the shop, had a bagel. There was a little bit more knowledge, and so I'd say like 25% of the room had heard of Jeff's and had been to Jeff's. The third time Danielle and I did it together, it was like at least half the room was like, oh yeah, I know Jeff's. I have a favorite bagel and cream cheese spread. And you're not going to catch me without like a banana bread latte, right? That was the vibe. This time we asked the question, "How many have you been to Jeff's?" And it was like 60%, 70% of the hands went up.
I love that measure for a lot of reasons. One, I like that measure because it's such a great, just benchmark year over year. I think it goes even more to sort of the brand awareness because these are new students. If you want to talk about a population that you have to recapture every year, all the seniors leave and a whole new fresh, crop of
Mhm.
underclassmen come in. And so you don't get built to that. That doesn't just grow like it would with a normal audience where it's like, oh, we won them and we keep them. It's like we got to keep winning these kids. So it was cool to see that even with that, that number is increasing. And as you said, what this is my first time to the exchange, but it like they weren't just like, oh, I've been to one. We had fans. There was fans in there. They were talking the same nonsense that we always talk about in this pod as far as like favorite pairings and like you said, not gonna catch me dead without my morning coffee. It's in the
100%.
ritual. So
Yeah, it
that was
was
really fun to see. It'll be, year 6, year 8, this will be a fun exercise. We'll be in the student union by then. That's the goal, right? So,
it
uh,
was standing room only in the back. There was like
yeah,
120 kids there. It was pretty great. We've got a ton of content that I need to chop up and turn into a podcast because we did record while we were there. We
yeah.
had our setup. We even brought a little extra help, a third camera in the room, and we were doing our best to capture the students' questions. So I'm gonna work on that. So this is my promise to our listeners. The
Ooh, put
exchange
yourself on the hook. I
episodes.
like it.
Yeah, I'm all about accountability, Aaron. I think the the exchange podcasts episodes will come out. We'll probably do it in 2 episodes and get a chance to hear what the students are asking, get a little insight into the mind of the next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs in the business world. Should be fun.
There's some great questions.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it, so we'll just leave it there and people have to come back and listen to part 1 and part 2 when we get those edited and posted up. So it's gonna be great. You don't know this as a listener because you're just listening in your car on a Thursday morning and you're super happy that there's another pod available. But I was late today to the recording
Like,
session.
yeah, this is true. This is true.
So
Uh, given that you are also the studio team, nobody was really upset. I
nobody
mean,
missed me. Is that
I
what you're
was stuck.
saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did, but listen, I'm just a hired talent. All right, I'm in the proverbial green room for whenever you get here. This is I'm ready for you, man.
So I was late today because I got a text message late last week that a former colleague of mine that works at the North Face was going to be in town for a meeting, and the entire Southeast leadership team for the North Face was going to be there, and they got bagels. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you! That's so incredible! I'm like so glad that you thought of us. Thanks for catering breakfast one morning." And she said, maybe you could come by. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll see if I can swing by. And it turned out that they were meeting at a hotel just on the other side of where our office is in Orlando. And it was like
Oh,
a
cool.
4 minute drive. So after lunch today, I popped over to their meeting and just jumped in and told the story of Jeff's Bagel Run. They're in a phase right now where they're rebuilding some of their customer service and experience that's taking place. And so we talked a lot about hospitality and all of the themes and the things that we're seeing in quick service that we're trying to deploy at the Bagel Run and how that ties into maybe a different experience in retail setting where you're buying a jacket and getting ready for an adventure. It was really fun.
I bet you some interesting parallels there, and you having worked in both industries,
I worked at the North Face. I was the leader for that
literally.
Southeast
Yeah.
market.
You have that experience to draw those parallels. And I think that there's a lot to be learned in other industries from the restaurant industry and just how we look at hospitality and just the hyper focus on experience. At the end of the day, if I'm a consumer, I've got a lot of choices on what to eat. And so it goes beyond just the food. It's the
Um,
entire experience that goes with it. And that's universal.
I think that plays for outerwear too. If you're going on an Alaskan cruise and you need to make sure you have the right gear for your excursions because you're going to be walking on a glacier or something, there's a few different places you can pick that up. And I think the differentiation point for what someone perceives as value is that human interaction, that hospitality, that service, that's gonna be the differentiator, and we talked a lot about that today, and it was super fun to hear stories of customer going in, and these are big purchases. These aren't like, $4 bagel and cream cheese purchases. These are, fully kitted out, maybe thousands of dollars worth of gear that you're buying for this adventure you're going on. So it's a big financial decision, and you wanna feel comfortable with it, and
Yeah.
as these leaders in these stores are building these relationships with their customers, they're they're doing it through authenticity. They're doing it through a genuine appreciation for them coming and interacting, and it's like it's that relationship, similarly to the one that we build with our guests when they come in and they're like, "Hey, Aaron, rosemary salt, jalapeno cheddar, what are you getting?" Like, you just kinda know they're regular, and
Yeah.
so how do you treat people like a regular? How do you create someone and make them a regular was a conversation we had today, and it was a lot of fun to see how it equated to even an experience like, grabbing an outerwear shell to stay dry when you're on an adventure.
That's that's an interesting challenge because I think that it's almost harder in those sorts of spaces because, you don't kit out for an Alaskan adventure every month, but you can get a bagel every day. And so
Mhm.
I think we have a lot more opportunity touch points to build those relationships fast and really establish them. So what do you advise them? What was your advice as far as like how do you create experience across, fewer touch points?
The conversation we had today was about making sure people feel seen when they enter your space.
Mm,
And that's a component of Jeff's Bagel Run's philosophy. Like, I mean, you walk into a store, we've talked about this before. It's like, hey, welcome in,
yeah.
Aaron, it's great to see you, right? But it goes beyond that. It's like that acknowledgement, that smile, just knowing that you're there, feeling seen, feeling appreciated goes so far. And imagine you're walking into a retail space and you're getting ready to spend six, seven, $800 on some outerwear for a vacation that you've probably spent thousands of dollars on to go on this grand adventure and aren't greeted when you walk in. You aren't made to feel appreciated for just having taken the opportunity to browse the selection of things that might be in this place when there's so many opportunities for you to shop in. And so, how do you connect to someone quickly? And it really boils down to just smiling, acknowledging that they are there, which is crazy that an acknowledgement of existence is like all it takes to be better than the next person. Wild.
I I don't want to admit that that's true, but it is. And
It's true.
if I reflect on my own consumer experiences that I have, that resonates, right? You go in there. I think one of the most powerful things you can do is just remember an order. Because as a consumer, you're like, I've reached some, you know, insider elite VIP status that I'm worth having my order remembered by this other human that's just trying to get through their day and do their job. And
Mhm.
like the power of that. And it's even to the point where I'll go in a place and if somebody remembers my order, I'll be like, I didn't even want that. I came in for something different, but I am going to abandon that original thought and I will take my regular just because I don't want to break whatever's happening
Whatever
here. I just
whatever
yeah.
we've built here, whatever this,
Yes,
like,
I don't wanna
this
tear it down.
Aaron's like, "I
Like
got this thing going with my
yeah,
barista, and I don't wanna screw it up."
exactly. It's like, "No, I really didn't want a latte today, but yes, I will
I
take one because
do
you
want a
remember that I like
latte.
lattes. So, let's
Exactly.
go." It is such a low bar for sure, but it has such outsized impact. It's
Yeah.
it's
No,
incredible.
100%. Yeah, it really is. I had maybe an hour-long conversation with these leaders, and I think for them, they were like, "Well, that's great, you're an owner. This is your business." And I was like, "It's true, but we've got franchisees, and I have people that we've released control to this business, and you are in this place, and you don't own the North Face. You're the store manager, but it's still your business. There's still an assignment of ownership to what you're doing, and you have to take that. You have to fully embrace that, and then you have to find a way to deploy bits and pieces of that ownership to your team. Because if you can't
Yeah,
delegate, if you can't assign ownership of things to where they feel like the purpose that they have in the business that they're doing isn't strong enough, like your order being remembered, that person had a purpose. Aaron's coming in,
Yeah.
and I'm going to deliver an experience to Aaron that is going to blow his mind because you're not even anticipating the concept of them remembering their order. My favorite experience in a Just Bagel run is when we get a customer who mobile orders the same thing consistently, and then a bagel of the day pops up and they take that instead of their regular, and the team hesitates a little bit. They're always like, "So, Jeff, wait a second. You usually like a salt bagel, roasted jalapeno, but you got the jalapeno pepper jack today. Is everything okay? Like, what's going on?" Like that.
You good? Is this are you signaling? This is
Yeah,
fine?
like
It's
what?
it's a cry for help. We need to talk.
Blink twice if you need help, right? Yeah,
That's
like
right.
I think there's something to that level of recognition, that level of awareness that you have for the people around you, and ultimately became down to this, like, be kind and appreciate the people that are
Yeah.
around you, because ultimately they're what makes your business better. They're what makes you make your sales goals. They're the ones that help you increase your productivity. Like, and because the people around them is also their teams, right? Like, I mean, and that happens
Mhm.
too at Just Bagel Run. Like, we have big teams in our stores, and that's another audience that you have, and you have to deliver that same level of experience to you. You have to appreciate, you have to see your team, you have to make sure they feel like they're in on the same purpose.
I think it's you made a good point about the ownership, and I think that that's something that's oftentimes misunderstood or misaligned, and it you make a really good point around it's not you don't have to own the business to have ownership. You don't have to literally financially, legally own the business to have ownership. That's not really what it's about. Certainly not for consumers that are in your space because, as you said, remembering an order is ownership. A team member owning that space around you and you see it with the employees and the teams that are really good. They're just like, this is my domain. While I'm here, this is my domain. And maybe I'm not even authorized to give out a 2% discount, right? I can't do anything, right? Like, but I'm still going to own the space, like the way that I do my job, the way that I pack these bagels or interact with the customers. I remember that you're going somewhere. You have something on your T-shirt, and I'm like, oh, I love that movie too. And these are all little actions that just display again that ownership of the experience that you're providing the customer. And I think that's actually the most important part. It's not the I can give free stuff away or discounts. Like that's not really what consumers remember.
Yeah, they definitely remember the fact that they felt like you cared enough about their experience to do the thing you did. That's what people remember. The way you make someone feel is more likely than not the way they're going to remember you.
Oh yeah.
That's it. So if you're scooping cream cheese and you just happen to look up and someone's got a Dungeon Crawler Carl t-shirt on and you're like, "Oh, Mungo is appalled." That connection to that
Yeah.
experience, like, it makes everything for them, and they're willing to come back again. Yeah, Danielle told me she's been working really hard with the store teams around making them regulars. Like, that's her mission, and to drive operations and increase sales, foot traffic, whatever it looks like all the things that we're trying to do, like, make them regulars is the goal. And how do you do that? It's like great engagement, it's great conversation, it's remembering their order, it's ensuring that if they have our app and they've joined our loyalty program, that they're getting the scan to get the points to do it's all of those components make all of it.
And you bring up a
Right.
really yeah, you bring up a really another really good point just worth sort of highlighting is that it's not it is the intangibles like did I have to wait a long time? Was it organized, whatever. But some of our most popular stores, most well-reviewed stores, that have the highest number of repeat customers, sort of beloved experiences. Like they're busy stores. People are going in and they're waiting. Not a
Yeah.
long time, but they're waiting, and that does not negatively correlate. It's not like people are willing to wait. People are willing to be in the space and if it's really busy, they understand it because it's like, hey, this is worth waiting for. The experience, the product, and all that stuff. And it's like people, I think about the wrong thing.
You're definitely onto something. We live in Orlando, we're theme park junkies,
Everything's
and
a line. Everything in life.
everything is a line, right?
That's so
Everything is a
true.
line. But if you're in that queue and you wait, I don't know, an hour for a roller coaster,
90
and the
seconds.
payoff and the payoff is 90 seconds of pure adrenaline and joy,
Yep.
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
So the equate that to the bagel shop. If you go to your bagel shop and you wait 10 minutes in line and you have a great experience with the team, plus you get a delicious bagel and cream cheese and coffee, and you walk out and you think, wow, that was totally worth it.
Mhm.
It's the same cue logic that Disney applies, that Universal Studios applies. Keep
Yeah.
them busy in the line so they don't think the line's too long, but make the payoff worth it.
Yeah.
The ride better deliver. I don't know, Velocicoaster delivers.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
just saying. 2.5 minutes of am I gonna live? And then you live and you're like,
That's
that was awesome.
yeah. I would that's one that I have and would, again, wait for.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was just so fun to see some old colleagues. And
It's
so
cool.
Miranda, thank you for inviting me out. And Billy is the district manager that leads that Southeast Division, lives in our Charlotte market and visits our stores there.
Oh,
So it was
nice.
really, yeah, the Southeast, this is great. Like, we have our Charlotte team, we had a Charleston team there. We have a couple, like the Atlanta team knew of like the Ackworth location, but it was kind of too far from where they were. So they all kind of had an idea of who Just Bagel Run was, which was pretty neat too, but not all of them had the chance to try the bagels. And so
Yeah.
um,
Good. Convert them all. Send them back.
that's us. And that's what I said. Us, listen, you can have your team meetings and we can provide bagels. Just let us know.
Speaking of converting, well, I don't know that I'm actually converting to anything. I'm pretty addicted at this point, but you sampled a bagel today. You sampled 2 bagels today, and one I mean, they were both delicious, but one I've been excited about and one I had no idea about, and the one I had no idea about, like, blew my mind, and actually, I'm still thinking about that bagel and not the one I was excited about.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
it's faded now. That one was so good. It was so good. That's my favorite perk of Test Bagel Run, I think, is insider menu access. I'm not gonna lie, uh, I flaunt that a little bit. Like, I'll talk to people and they'll be like, "Oh, I love that bagel." Like, "Oh, I had that bagel like 3 months ago." Like,
It's a
inside, like,
flex, Aaron.
it's a
Yeah,
flex.
it's a
That's my
it's
favorite
totally a
that's
flex.
my favorite JBR perk is just getting to try these things before, you know, they hit Main Street.
I did bring 2 test bagels. You were headed into a meeting, right, when I came in with them too, and you're like, "What's in the box?" And, like, you disappeared, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh." And so what did I do? Tell the people. What did I do?
Uh, you brought me you brought me these samples.
Yes, I did.
I
Hand
I
delivered.
hand delivered, so I'm deeply, deeply appreciative of these. I mean, honestly, I feel like just following you around, whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, whenever I know that there's menu innovation happening, I just wanna follow you around, for cast-offs, kinda like how my dog used to follow my young children around, just, hunting for Cheerios and goldfish, just waiting for them to fall off out of their hands. Like, I feel like that's what I'm doing, but I'm not above it.
That's okay.
So I just
It
follow you
pays off.
around. Like, when I know
It's
that we're shooting marketing for something, I'm there, I'm ready.
it's totally worth it. And these bagels are gonna come from, a collection of bagels of the day that are gonna launch in July, so
Oh,
next
so they're
month.
soon. I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So they're on the
we're
corner.
launching.
Great.
We're right around the corner. This was kinda like final test, and they're gonna launch in July as part of an international flavors week
Ooh, it's like World
that
Cup
coincides with
inspired.
the semifinal and final game of the World Cup.
Yes. I love
So,
it.
it's really great. I think there's some really fun flavor profiles in that weekly set of bagels of the day. I'm really excited about the 2 that I brought today. There was one you didn't even get that's equally as good. I tested it last week, so fire. Can't wait.
How many flavors are in this international?
Mm, 7 days in our bagel of the day
Yep.
calendar, so there are 7 international flavors that we're presenting.
So
3
the
of them
whole
are
week is
new.
new.
No, 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 3 of them are
Okay.
new bagels of the day. We have some international flavors already
That's what I was gonna say.
on
There's
our
some
menu,
roster.
kind of in the assortment. Yeah, one of the new franchisees that was at the office today asked me today, they said, "How many bagels of the day do you have?" Like, in the like library of bagels a day. I was like, it's probably like 60. Like there's so many choices.
It's a deep roster.
And we've added a lot of new ones. So this is like, we've already added, I think I counted it up this year alone. We've added like 14 new bagels. So, and we're halfway through the year. So we're on pace to get to 30.
Which I expect. The holidays always bring out creativity.
Oh,
So
yeah. 30 new bagels. We did 35 new bagels last year, 30 new bagels this year. That's light work.
we say all Jeff has to do is invent them, and all I have to do is eat them. But Danielle's the one that has to make them real. So
Very
she
true.
probably feels differently about how easy it is.
Very true. So speaking of like bagels that are real, two of my favorite professional athletes, they're both named Jalen, and one of has a bagel that named after him, Chatfield. Jalen Chatfield's bagel is, it's a delicious, beloved bagel of the day at Just Bagel Run.
It's
I
a
think it comes
favorite.
back. It's coming back next week as part of the lineup, and Jalen and the Hurricanes are in the NHL Finals. They lost game 1, but they are fighting the good fight, scoring goals, doing everything they can to stay in this series. And I'm excited for the Canes and for the Chatfield Bagel. I mean, for sure for Jalen too, but
It's
but
bagels first, of course.
Bagels first. The other Jalen that's getting a little bit of news is Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. The Knicks are in the finals for the first time in I don't know how many years. I was a child the last time they were there.
Long time.
Been a long time, and I know that you're probably not a Knicks fan, but that's okay. We'll let that one go for you.
As a proud New Englander,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
no, you have to say that. That's
I
fine.
just don't want
That's fine.
any ambiguity
No,
out there around that fact.
you're clearly a Celtics fan, and that's okay. But the Knicks are in the finals, and I guess Jalen Brunson was stopped recently on the street and asked about his favorite, like, what's his bodega order? And he's
It's like
like,
the most New York question I've ever heard.
it's so New York coded, and it's absolutely something you would ask the star Knicks player the week of the finals. But he's like, it's
Important
simple.
things.
It is. He's like, it's a simple sandwich. He's like, I'll get it at the corner bodega. It's my thing. Everything bagel with eggs, cheese, a hash brown, spicy mayo.
Interesting.
It sounds pretty good, and I've seen it all over the internet. I might have to make one tonight. Might be my dinner. I might
The
have to make a
hash
brunch.
brown. Yeah, the hash brown is a bold choice. I like that. Spicy mayo all day, every day. I think that's just brilliance. But the hash browns I'm interested in. Like, what's the hash brown bagel interaction? No meat though.
There was no meat on that particular.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, eggs. Listen, I think everybody's got, I love an egg and cheese on. I'm not a big, okay, this could be a hot take coming from Jeff, but like, I'm not a big, like, bacon, egg, and cheese guy on a bagel.
Okay. Would you prefer
I'm
it on a biscuit?
much like a Kaiser roll. Like
Kaiser roll.
a Kaiser, yeah, like a bacon, egg, and cheese
All
on
right,
like a
this is
soft roll.
spiraling. I don't even know
No,
what's happening here.
Aaron, we gotta go. We
Kaiser
gotta go to
roll.
like,
What are you gonna say next? Pretzel bun? I don't even know what's happening.
no, pretzel bun's a joke. That's nonsense. You can't do that. That's just a burnt bun that someone put salt on top of. I like to make an egg and cheese at home on like a roll. I make them
Okay.
on like the sweet Hawaiian rolls. That's really good.
Sweet Hawaiians are kind of cheating though, because like, what is the sweet Hawaiian roll bad on? Like, I feel like you can crowbar that into anything. It's just, those things are just
Doesn't
good.
delivery system for anything, right?
Yeah. Honestly, when has anybody eaten a Hawaiian roll and been like, this is bad?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
That's cheating.
yeah. So the Knicks are in the finals. The Hurricanes are in the finals. 2 Jalen's, both bagel lovers apparently. This feels great. I just, I'll take tickets to either. if anybody's listening.
I, I mean,
I mean,
maybe if you just offer to make some Brunsons, then maybe you can just go up
the
there and
internet wants us to make Nick's bagels in a bad way. Like the amount of people in my DMs are like, I need a Nick's bagel, I need a Nick's bagel. And it's just the bandwidth just doesn't exist. It was too fast.
yeah. Well,
Can't, it's
nobody
just too
saw that
fast.
coming, so it wasn't like we could plan in the quarterfinals. Like nobody saw this happening.
The reality of it is the Chatfield bagel exists because it's been around for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And I mean, listen, Jalen Brunson, if anybody knows him, you're tagging him in this, and he wants a Jeff's Bagel Run Everything bagel delivered somewhere. We can make it happen. I'm just saying.
Hey, that Brunson could be so much better. Like the base could be so much better.
Yeah, I mean, a bodega bagel, it's like, it's mid already. So like put it on a good bagel, make the sandwich on a good bagel. I know. That's what I'm saying. I think I might make it tonight here at the house. I've got some hash browns in the
Yeah.
freezer. It could happen. Should I do it?
I mean, I think you have to. Is we all need the results on social. What happened?
All right. I'll see if I can. Maybe that'll be breakfast or dinner tonight.
Which is again another excellent
Elite. It's
idea.
elite. I don't know if I have any everything bagels in the freezer. I think I only have salt. That could
That's
work. Whatever.
hilarious that you actually, out of everything, you don't have the bagel. That you
Yeah, I
don't
know.
have
I
the
have eggs.
bagel.
I have hash browns for sure. I have salt bagels in the freezer. We don't we just are salt bagel household. My kids want them. Like heat them up in the oven in the morning for them, and it's
You gotta have some everything seasoning. Come on.
I probably have everything seasoning. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I have to throw it on there. I've got it in the house for sure. But like, I've got a salt bagel frozen, ready to go. Pop it in the oven, heat it up, and
I'm
be ready.
jealous. I'm
You don't
jealous.
keep a freezer stash?
It never lasts. I don't go.
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
go through stretches where I'm not in the store, and then my stock runs out, and I got to get back in
Yeah,
and replenish.
I get that. Yeah, we've
I
got a.
try to, because that's the first thing I tell people too is that freezer, unsliced in the freezer, and then you pop it out, quick zap, release all that steam, cut it, and it's like you can kind of recreate that oven feel.
It's so great. We just take ours, we reheat them, we take them whole. Like some people like to slice their frozen bagels that way they can like put them in a toaster and warm them up that way.
I slice them
I
first.
Yeah, I prefer to freeze them whole, and then when we're going to heat them up, just preheat the oven like 350 degrees, wrap them in foil so that the outside doesn't get any extra
Mm,
like kind of like you do like a Thanksgiving turkey. You cover the
yeah,
part
yeah.
that you don't want to get
You
too
tent
brown.
it. You're tenting.
Tent it, yeah. So basically, wrap it up in the foil, pop it in the oven for like 20 minutes, and when you unwrap it, it comes out with the crust crispy, the inside's chewy and warm, and it's just
I'll have
like
to
getting
try
a
that.
bagel. It's just like getting a bagel hot from the oven at Jeff's in the shop. It's awesome.
I like that. That might be better than my approach.
It's so good. So good. All right. Well, now I know what I'm having for dinner. That sounds great. Man, I can't believe it's already 37 minutes, Aaron. That's how this week has gone. The podcast went like
That's
that. The week is gone like that. And who knows what's going to happen next. So, I don't know. Bake fresh. Bring joy, build community. Have a great week. See you soon.
Yo, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Just Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run from Just Bagel Run.